Hi, Rochelle. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're just starting the Sunday evening live here. We're just starting the Sunday evening Higher Consciousness live here. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you're rolling into the chat, if you know the drill, if you could mention where you're from, if you're new or returning, and I will give you a warm welcome in here. For those of you who have a free finger, if you could tap away as we were just getting started, and that will help push this out here as well to trigger all those codes, to trigger the algo. Appreciate you so much. Hi, Free Spirit from New York. Good to see you. Rochelle from Texas. Good to see you, Jersey. Tiff. Good to see you, Tiff from California. You're all right on time. Hi, Becky. Beautiful. Hey, Mandy. Excellent. You're all showing up right on time. Beautiful. That's why I put out those bulletin boards for the lives, because it's excellent. You get notified right when they come on. Thank you, Tiff, for getting us rolling. You're awesome. You're a blessing. Thank you, Tiff. We're going to go on the hero's journey here this evening. Some of you have heard me talk about it before. Every time it goes in a little bit different of a way. And the more that you understand it, you start to recognize the path that you're on and the journey you're on. Hey, brother, good to see you. I would also love to have other individuals come up today. Would love to have other people come up and speak on their experience. Hey, Beth, good to see you. Talk about their journey that they're on. Maybe they've had a near-death experience or a large spiritual awakening, or maybe that they have lots of questions or lots of emotions going on as well. Sometimes people just need to come up and release. That can happen a lot of the time as well. Because remember,
your story may not have such a happy beginning, but that doesn't make you who you are.
Thank you, Sonia. Let's go, Sonia with the swan.
Who you choose to be.
Sonia with the swan. Your blessing. Thank you, Sonia. That swan will help push this out here in the beginning as well. How are you all doing on this wonderful Sunday evening? Yeah, I welcome you in. Good to see you. How are you all doing on this Sunday? Hopefully you've had an amazing weekend, and we'll be moving into a new month. The month of March, yeah? The month of March. A month of new beginnings. A month of grace and forgiveness and new beginnings. It's just like when spring starts to dawn, right? There's grace and forgiveness when spring comes. Dawning new forth of a new time, yeah. New identity, new opportunities, and new growth in life. Planting of new seeds. Beautiful. I go by Josh or Elion if you've never seen my face before. Hi, Winifreda, good to see you. If you could mention in the chat if you're new or returning, and then also where you're from, I'll give you a warm welcome in here. Thank you, Tina. Let's go. You're all shining stars. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Sonia. We're waving the light. I've never seen that one before. That one's a lot of fun. You're all amazing. Thank you so much. Light Seeker returning from South Carolina. Let's go. Let's go, Beth. We got fireworks as well. Let's talk about the field. Let's talk about the field of energy. So sometimes when I talk about the quantum, a lot of people get lost, which is okay. It's kind of designed that way. It's designed to lose you a little bit when somebody talks about the quantum field. I'm going to explain it like this. Go ahead and feel into your body at this point in time. Just recognize where you're sitting, taking deep breaths, feeling into your body. I want you to notice your hands, your feet, your legs, right? You have a brain, you have a heart, you have a body, right? Now, when we get down and we look deeper and deeper into things under microscopes, and you get into the cellular level, then you just have the cells, and then you have molecules, and then you go deeper and you have atoms, and then you have the protons, and you have the electrons, and you have the neutrons. And the vast majority of these are actually just space. The vast majority of every atom is just space itself. It's not even the actual physical object, it's just space. And what they've proven, and what science has shown, is that your atoms are always different. Every year, every single atom is changed. It's all different. So if every single year all of the atoms change, if they all cycle and they change every single year, yet you're watching an aging process and you think you have the same body, in truth, none of it's the same. No piece of it is the same. Even though you recognize it as the same, no, this is me, this is my body, I've watched it age, this is who I am. So, if every single atom changes, and the majority of it is space itself, it's not even a physical object, could you even be your body? Are you your brain? Are you inside your brain? Are you your skin? Are you your hands? Right? Do you say my body or this is me? It's a very, it's almost a trippy thing. If you look into a mirror, recognize you're not your body. You're going to look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is me. It's not true. So when we go even deeper into the quantum, when you go past the electrons, neutrons, protons, and past electricity, you just get into waves. You just get into waves itself. It's like a dance of music everywhere, where there's just laws. There's universal laws. There's God's laws, and these laws are what are bringing atoms and molecules into its perfect place, into its rhythm, into its balance, and into its physical form. Light being made manifest into form. In the Bible, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So this is Word being made manifest into form, thought being made manifest into form. So I might lose some of you while I talk like this, but this is the design of human consciousness, all right? So the only reason you understand your world or the way that you are and who you are is because of your awareness, correct? You're aware that you are, you're aware that you're experiencing, you're aware that you're thinking, you're aware that you're feeling. For example, if I put somebody under an hypnotherapy and they were feeling pain, but now they're no longer aware of pain, pain is within their awareness, so they feel it, and once it's outside of their awareness, they no longer feel it, correct? If you go under anesthesia, there's a lapse in awareness. Every single thing in your body is exactly the same. The brain is still functioning, the electricity is still going, your heart is still beating, nothing has changed. But when under anesthesia, there is a lapse in consciousness, there's a lapse in awareness. You don't know that you're awake. You have no idea. And you'll even have conversations with the doctor, right? The body and the brain is alive and awake, and it's having conversations with the doctor, but there's no you there. And then all of a sudden they say, okay, surgery's over. And you go, what? Yeah, it's been 8 hours. You were talking to me. You were telling me all sorts of things. Really? I had no idea. Yeah, you were under anesthesia, so you had no consciousness. You weren't aware. And yet your body and your brain were still doing what they were doing. Okay, so your experience is through your awareness. Please type that in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Your experience is through your awareness. You can only experience what you're aware of. This is why anesthesia works. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. And this is why doctors can't figure it out. It's one of the strangest things ever. They can't explain it. It just works. All right? Doctors can't explain anesthesia. They just know it works. So they use it. Why? Because it gives a lapse in awareness, gives a lapse in consciousness, so there's no memory there, and so no pain can be had. All right, excellent, beautiful. So your experience is through your awareness, right? Yeah, exactly. So if you're able to have conscious control over that which you are aware of, would your experience not change dramatically? If you could control where your awareness, where your focus always was, would your experience not change dramatically? For example, the vast majority of the time your awareness is on the pain of your body. If it shifted where there was no pain in the body, even if the body was having pain, just like when you're under anesthesia, all right? When you're under anesthesia, the body's still feeling pain, but you're not there to feel it. This is going to throw your mind for one of the biggest loops that you've ever heard in your life. You're going to be very, very confused with the way I talk to you right now. Understand, the brain and the body is still feeling the pain, but there's no one there to feel it. So there's no pain. Yeah. So, this journey, light love. So, under anesthesia, the body and your brain is still feeling the pain, but there's no one there to feel the pain. So you don't experience it because you can only experience through that which you're aware of. In a very similar way on this journey, when you gain conscious control of that which you're aware of, you're going to recognize when something is within your awareness, within your focus, within your consciousness, and you're going to say, this is not serving me. For example, pain might happen to this guy in the body, but it's completely different than what it used to be. So there's pain, so what? The consciousness moves. It moves its focus, it moves its awareness and attention, and it no longer feels it, no longer sees it, or it treats it for what it is. So the quantum field is bringing things into existence through the atoms in the field, right? And it's through the resistance of why pain or why disease, why illness, why depressions, why angers, why frustrations, why sadness, why grieving, any sort of lower vibration entity is through resistance of that which is, all right? It's always resistance of the fields clashing together because atoms are nothing but space, basically. Atoms, all of the atoms and molecules that make up your body, it's basically space. So when this doesn't have this much spaciousness and there's resistance between it, this is when you're going to feel more pain in your life. The more resistance that you have and the less space that you have, you're going to feel more pain, or you're going to have more emotional issues. You're going to have more emotional pains. You're going to have more fears, more anxieties, more worries. The more resistance, why? Because there's less space in these atoms and these cells in your field of consciousness, in your field of awareness. So on the path to spiritual enlightenment, on the path to awakening, on the path of taking the narrow road that Christ talks about, is creating this immense amount of space, of peace, of love, of joy. And then there's no more resistance to the fields of life. There's no more resistance to that which is. Resistance causes pain. If you are one and flowing with life in all of the fields of energy, you'll be one with it. It won't matter. Right? So, for example, there's a lot of people going through a lot of pain right now in the world because they can't accept what's happening in other countries or in our country or whatever it is. So there's an immense amount of resistance to change or to things happening, and there's going to be a lot of pain going on in their world, in their mind, in their body. And it's going to show through the physical reflection itself. Show through the physical reflection itself. If you have any inkling and understanding of what I'm saying, type a 1 in the chat. I lose a lot of people when I talk in this way. But in understanding the quantum, when you can compare it to what the ancient teachers are talking about, what Jesus was talking about, what a lot of the other spiritual masters are talking about, it makes so much more sense. Beautiful. When he's teaching how to manifest miracles into life, right? So in truth, the manifestation is believing one thing, thinking, speaking, and acting, bringing all of those together, action, thought, belief, and word, all one. That is the truth of collapsing something into form and manifesting. Where most people think it's like some spell, where they do nothing and they say something and all of a sudden it'll happen. They feel like they're casting a spell or something. That's not how that works. So let's go on the hero's journey. Let's go on the hero's journey. Why? Because that's you. Because that's you. Right? The hero is you. Go ahead and type that in the chat. The hero is me. The hero is you. You're the one who wakes up in your story. You're the one who shows up for yourself. You're the one meant to have immense amount of self-love, of self-worth, of value. You're the one who is meant to have courage. You're the one who is meant to go into the world and make changes upon your being. You're the one that's supposed to go through the identity shift. Nobody else is there to do it for you. All right, you're the hero in your story. Right? A lot of people are hoping for a savior, a man in the clouds to come, but the Christ awakens within, right? Christ awakens within. A lot of people want it to be a man to come and change everything about you, right? Let it happen from within. Beautiful. Okay, so on the steps on the journey of the hero's journey, there are certain stages that happen. In every single popular movie in Hollywood, it's based on this script by Joseph Campbell. It's basically an outline of what a human will go through with certain challenges or struggles to come into a greater level of empowerment, to come into a greater level of courage, of strength, of understanding, of wisdom, of health, whatever it may be. For example, all the Marvel films are based like this. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Basically any film where they start off in a certain way and then they go on a massive adventure and meet lots of struggles and all sorts of things. When we start to look at it from your perspective as well. Star Wars, yeah, all of them. So when we start to look at it from your journey as well, I'm going to walk you through the stages here, okay? And you'll wake up in a certain way and understand where you're at on your journey. You'll get a good idea of, whoa, wait, that's me. What's going on? That's where I am right now. So in the vast majority of movies, or in the human story, say for example The Matrix, or say for example you're meeting Morpheus right now and you're Neo, what's the first thing that happens in a Hollywood movie or in your life before change? Where are you? Right, before change, where are you? Before an awakening, before change, where are you? Choice? Up the creek. Where's the beginning of Harry Potter, Marvel movies? Where's the beginning of Spider-Man? Where's the beginning of The Matrix? Where's the beginning of Lord of the Rings? Unaware. It's an okay way to say it, unaware. Innocent. The mundane. That's a better way to say it. So it's going to be the ordinary stuff, right? The ordinary stuff. This is where most people are, is in the ordinary stuff, right? Living in the ordinaries. The 9 to 5s, the same routines. All right. Most people are living in the ordinary. That's Lord of the Rings. That's Neo in the Matrix. That's most people in their life journey as well, is just living in the ordinary. And this is life before transformation. And what starts to happen for most people is there's this feeling of restlessness. It starts to stir up from within. There's this small little void that starts to grow inside. You start to feel misaligned. You feel like something's missing. This can't be all there is to life. And you're going through routines and feeling like something is off. Right? Those routines no longer feel like you. Something is off. And eventually that void inside grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you're forced to face it. Right? So this is when your soul is whispering to you first. Right? This is when the soul whispers. Okay. Go ahead and type that in the chat. The soul whispers. The soul will whisper. It'll start telling you there's a different path. There's a different way.
But why is Fantasia dying then?
Because people have begun to lose their hopes and forget their dreams. So the nothing grows strong.
Did you catch that? Anybody catch that? I'm going to do that one more time, okay? So the ordinary world, that void grows inside of yourself. This can't be all there is to life. The repeating patterns.
But why is Fantasia dying then?
Because people have begun to lose their hopes and forget their dreams. So the nothing grows strong.
Grows stronger, right? Okay, so that's being in the ordinary world there. And then the nothing begins to becomes stronger and stronger, right? Loss of hopes and dreams, that's right. And the imagination, the creativity is fading away, right? Your imagination, your creativity, your adventure and love for life and exploration, it is fading away, and the nothingness grows stronger, and the ordinary, the world starts to take over, right? The child is buried, and the child is buried. So your soul begins to whisper. All right. So after that, we have the call to adventure. We have that call to adventure. What could that call to adventure be? What could that call to adventure be? For a human, for you. For a human, for you. What could that adventure be? A call to adventure. To love. Yeah, the great path of love. For Harry Potter, it was Hagrid showing up, right? You're a wizard, Harry. For Frodo in The Lord of the Rings, it was Gandalf bringing him the ring, right? Aware that there's something more. Right. In the Jedi movies, it's, guess what? You're a Jedi. Yeah? In The Matrix, Morpheus shows up and says, there's more, Neo. There's more than what you are living. You can keep living the same way if you want, or you can dive deeper, or you can go into the path of waking up and recognizing what's truly going on. Do you want to see what's truly going on? This is when he offers the red and blue pill, right? So you can take the anesthesia, you can take the memory loss, go back to the world exactly how it is, go back to the same routine, nothing changes. Love, hope, adventure, awareness. That's right. Let's go, Jan. The adventure teacher shows up when you're ready. Yeah, so what does the adventure teacher do? What are they designed to do? Right, what is the adventure teacher designed to do? Why would existence send an adventure teacher? Why would existence send an adventure teacher? To challenge? Light up the path to love? You're ready. Yeah, why would existence send an adventure teacher? Because your soul calls for it. Right? Existence asks for it. Your soul calls for it. The child's buried, right? The child's buried deep. And it's crying to come out, right? The child's crying to come out. I want to love again. I want to play again. I want to laugh. I want to enjoy life. I want to make money. I want to explore. I want to adventure. I want to live on my terms, not on the world's terms. I don't want to live by pain. I don't want to live by trauma. I don't want to live by resentments. I don't want to live by regrets. I don't want to live by fear. I don't want to live by worry about what other people think. I don't want to worry about the world, right? I want to live and be free. Who in here wants to live and be free? That's why existence would send an adventure teacher. Call to adventure teacher, right?
What is the nothing?
It's the emptiness that's left. It is like a despair, destroying this world.
What is that emptiness inside? What is that emptiness inside, that void?
What is the nothing?
It's the emptiness that's left. It is like a despair, destroying this world.
So then the call to adventure comes for those who are ready to go on it. Yeah, and then the call to adventure comes for those ready to go on it. So it's an invitation to step into more. Yeah, it's an invitation to step into more. It's that nudge that's saying this isn't all that's meant for you. You're not meant to just live in the depths of darkness and in pain and in hopelessness and despair. You're not meant to just live in depressions and addictions and anxieties and worries and fears. You're not meant to live in the world. Yeah, you're meant to be free. So destiny starts knocking, and then it's up to you if you want to answer the call. Up to you if you want to answer the call, right? So what comes next? The refusal. What comes next is the refusal. The adventure starts knocking at your door. The teacher shows up. Morpheus shows up. Gandalf shows up to give Frodo the ring. The refusal. I don't want this. This isn't for me. All right. What could be the refusal? Why? Why the refusal to the adventure? Why the refusal to wake up? Why the refusal for freedom? Why the refusal for happiness and joy? Why the refusal of joy? Right? Why the refusal of freedom? Fear. Fear of change. Scared. Yeah, fear of the unknown. Hesitations, right? Hesitations can be a refusal. Procrastinations, unworthiness. Hopeless. Yeah, that can certainly be a refusal. Nervous system saying, what? Yeah, fight, flight, or freeze, right? If your nervous system goes into fight, flight, or freeze. And then for others, it can just be a disbelief as well. Many people, it can just be a disbelief. Someone might come in here and be like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. And they leave. That's a refusal, right? That's going to be a massive refusal on their part. There would be no belief, right? Self-sabotage, yeah. So procrastinations, excuses, distractions, disbeliefs. Very powerful verse in the Bible where people ask Christ or tell Christ, we do believe, but help us with our unbelief. And where many people are living in unbelief. All right. So every hero doubts. It's going to happen. Doubts happen, right? Doubt is the enemy's last attempt to make you small. Doubt is the enemy's last attempt to make you small. You'll doubt yourself. You'll have lots of doubting thoughts, doubting beliefs. Maybe something inside of your head might say this is a cult or something, right? Many, many doubts. And that happens for every single hero, all right? They doubt themselves at some point. Have any of you ever doubted yourself or doubted what you're doing in life? Let's go, Celeste. Thank you. Have any of you ever doubted yourself or doubted something in life? Kind of a trick question, right? Okay, excellent. Next up, after the refusal is over, if somebody passes the test and they decide, I'm going in, I'm not refusing, I am determined, I'm going to go into the adventure, I'm going to wake up, I want more freedom, I want more money, I want more love, I want this, that, whatever, right? And they're willing to make the changes to do so. I'm going to make the emotional changes, I'm going to make the physical changes, or I'm going to make the identity changes, the actions as well, right? And these things are going to shift in my reality. I am the hero of my story, and this is going to happen. So after there's no longer the refusal of going into the doubts, the distractions, the procrastinations, the hesitations, the fears, the running and hiding, right? Then is the meeting of the mentor. Then is the seek and ye shall find. Yeah, absolutely. Knock and the door shall be opened, right? So next you have the meeting of the mentor. What is that experience? What is that experience, the meeting of the mentor? That can show up in many different ways. That might be videos for you. It might be a coach or a guide. Someone that's able to point to a deeper truth inside of yourself, to bring out more courage, more strength, more self-love, more self-worth. Yeah, many people have been through one-on-ones with myself, and it's guidance, wisdom, direction, and transformation, right? Transformation for your nervous system, for your mind, for your emotions, for your thoughts, and for your soul. More integration, right? You'll never be the same. More integration, right? So, if someone is open, right, you'll have a much opportunity for transformation. You're open to counsel, you're open to insight, you're open to education, you're open for your nervous system integrating and changing, right? You're open. Christ says, I have hidden these truths from the prudent and the wise and revealed them unto the babes. What is he saying in that moment? He's saying those that consider themselves so intelligent, so wise, those that consider themselves, I know everything about religion or this Bible or whatever it is, he says, I've hidden these truths. They can't understand it. And then those that have a soft heart, those that have a free mind, those that are more in a surrendered state. Oftentimes on this journey, less knowledge is better. Sometimes people say, I don't know this stuff, I'm not smart. A lot of times it's a far better place to be. Right? When the student is ready, the teacher reveals himself. Yeah, and humility. Oftentimes it's a far better place to be. Remembering your truth, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Unless you transform and be ye that of a little child, you'll never enter the kingdom. That's right. And then in John says, I've come to turn the parents' hearts to the child. So you open yourself to counsel, to insight, and to education. Okay, next up, after the meeting of the mentor, this is when you start to cross the thresholds. This is when you start to cross the thresholds. This is when you're committing. Right? This is when you're truly committing. So this is when you're choosing courage over comfort. Go ahead and type that in the chat. Courage over comfort. The moment you start choosing courage, strength, spiritual empowerment over comfort is when you will start to move into and cross those thresholds and those barriers. That's kind of the beginning as well. Courage over comfort. I know it's not so comfortable to look at these past traumas or these past pains, but I'm going to do so with courage anyway. I know it's not so fun to look at my finances, but I'm going to do so anyway. I know it's not fun to look at my broken relationship, but I'm going to do so anyway. That's courage. Courage does not mean that there's no fear there. It just means your heart is fully present. Courage is not the absence of fear. It just means your heart is fully present. And when your heart is fully present, it will gladly go into things for the greatest of depths of that love and that peace and that joy and that freedom. Right? When your heart is fully present, it will gladly do those things for freedom. So that's taking the first real step in many ways. For many of you, that might look like something like meditating. It might look like something like starting a business. It might be doing one-on-ones for transformation. It will be diving into something in some way. For some of you, that might even be going to the gym. If it's very, very difficult for you, or you have a body that's very out of shape, and it's one of the last things you'd ever do is because you're insecure about yourself and you don't want to be seen at the gym, that could be a massive crossing the threshold moment, right, where you're moving over a lot of fear and you choose courage instead. So it's a new vibration, it's a new standpoint, and it's a rebirth for a lot of people. Now, after you start stepping into these things, after you start making convictions, okay, I'm going to change. I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. How many of you have ever set a New Year's resolution before? How many of you have ever set a New Year's resolution before? Now, I'd like to find a study and know the numbers on it of the actual amount of times that someone follows through completely with the New Year's resolution, but the vast majority don't follow through, or they do it for a week or two and then it's done, right? New Year's resolutions are like fairy dust. They're like fake balloons. So what happens when you make a choice to start changing, or let's say you're like, okay, I'm going to go on this journey. I'm going to be more empowered. I'm going to have courage. I'm going to have strength. I'm going to work on this business. I'm going to get a beautiful relationship. I'm going to feel happy and joyful, and I'm going to have a high vibration and be at love all the time. This is when you start meeting a lot of reflections. Let's go. Let's go, DJ. Good to see you. Let's go, David. These are going to be when you start seeing tests. You're going to see enemies and you'll see allies. So a lot of the times when you start this path, all of a sudden people start challenging you in a much bigger way, especially friends or family. Friends and family, those closest to you, are going to challenge the changes at the depth. They're going to poke you more than anybody. Right? Oh, you think you're this changed person? You think you're happy? Yeah, right. Let me say this to you. And then all of a sudden you're very angry and frustrated or depressed again or sad or whatever it is because of a simple thing they said to you, right? So tests, enemies, allies. Sometimes you might meet somebody that is there to make sure that you fail. You might meet somebody that's make sure that you are not going to succeed. You might meet somebody that's going to try and make sure that you don't come out of the mud. Sometimes people will show up in this channel and they'll do whatever they can. They'll fight, they'll kick, they'll scream to try and keep other people in the mud. How many of you have ever seen that before that's been in this channel? Some people will come in here and they will try and destroy many of you. They try to this guy, but there's no power there, right? So, but their attempt is to make sure that nobody comes out of the mud. Nobody gets out of the darkness. But in an environment like this, they can't hold, right? They have no bearing. They have no power. They can't hold. Now, a lot of times I just have to tell them it's too late, right? Once somebody's entered the city of light, there's no power for any darkness to be held. So it doesn't matter what words are said. It doesn't matter how much they kick, they scream, they punch. It doesn't matter how much they hate, whatever. It has no power. So that's test, allies, and enemies, all right? Test, allies, and enemies. You will have enemies as well. Prosperity loves company also. It's actually one of our hoodies here. Prosperity loves company also. So test, allies, and enemies. What would be an ally on your journey? What would be an ally on your journey? Yeah, who could be an ally on your journey? This could be close friends that actually like seeing you grow. If somebody enjoys that you're happier, that you're making money, that you're more loving, that you found a good relationship, that you're being treated better. Somebody that is enjoying your growth is going to be an ally, and it's going to be very obvious. It's going to be very obvious. They love it when you smile. They love it when you're in a good mood, when you have more energy, when you're dancing, when you're singing, when you're playing, when you're making money, whatever it may be. Right? And they're there to help you along the way, to build you up, to uplift you. Because sometimes growth requires friction. Sometimes growth requires friction. Right? Challenges, setbacks, new connections, old triggers. So there will be those there that are not happy that you are trying to get out of the mud. I no longer want to live in this lack-limiting belief. I no longer want to live in poverty. I no longer want to live in illness. I am going to change. I'm no longer going to follow what the world tells me, because the world doesn't know jack. S-H-I-T. Right? The world doesn't know it. Otherwise, everybody would be healthy, right? If the world truly knew, they would be healthy. People would have money. If the schooling system was actually correct, people would not be struggling to pay their bills and have hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans and be suffering and miserable. It wouldn't happen. If the hospital systems were actually designed in the correct way, everybody wouldn't be sick. If food was actually designed in the right way, everybody wouldn't be sick, right? So the world doesn't know. Governments don't know. All right? And if we understand that our friends, our family, our school systems, our teachers, everybody has been programmed by the world, by television, by the school system as well, so they're going to hold the same beliefs. Right? Hold the same beliefs. So when you're being tested, when there's the allies and the enemies in this part of the journey, everything that rises must be purified. This is your opportunity. Every emotion is a portal. Type that in the chat. Every emotion is an opportunity. Every single trigger, every single emotion, it's an opportunity. Why? Because it happens inside of you. It's not happening anywhere else. It's happening inside of you. Every emotion is an opportunity. An opportunity for what? An opportunity for greater understanding about your own self, an opportunity to wake up, an opportunity to transmute and transform, an opportunity to move into a higher mind. Every emotion is an opportunity. Do not let them destroy you. Right? Challenges, setbacks, do not let them destroy you. Thank you, Dolly. Let's go. Thank you, Dolly. So after the tests, the allies and the enemies, which is a very important stage for many, many people. Right, this is when Harry Potter meets Ronald and Hermione. This is when Frodo meets what is the guy's name with Frodo? Somebody help me out. Who helps Frodo? He's got his ally. Right, Batman has his Robin. Samwise Gamgee, yeah, that's right, Samwise. Gollum is a whole different character, right? Gollum is another essence. Very interesting character that Gollum is, right? Speaking of which, speaking of the Gollems, perfect timing. So after tests, allies, and enemies, next up we have approaching the innermost caves. Next up, we have approaching the innermost caves. What do you think those caves are? On this journey, what do you think those caves are? On the journey of spiritual empowerment, on the journey of freedom inside of yourself, on the journey of conscious creation, on the journey of peace, love, and joy, and creating beautiful things. Shadow self, traumas, unknowns. Hidden things we can't see. Yeah, what are these innermost caves? What are these innermost caves? Go ahead and type this in the chat. The things we don't want to look at. If you see a dark cave when you're on a walk, let's say you're in the mountains, let's say you're in the woods and you're walking and you see a dark cave, you don't want to go in there, right? I don't like that. I'm not going in there. Those innermost caves are the things that you do not want to look at. Facing deepest patterns, pains, wounded childs, traumas, addictions, resentments, judgments, hatreds, heartache or heartbreak, our own envies, jealousies, lusts, shames, guilts. We don't want to look at our own self a lot of the times, right? So facing our deepest patterns. Facing our deepest patterns. This is when those old wounds start to surface in a very big way. Those of you that have been in the one-on-ones with myself, you go, why am I feeling so much? What is going on inside of me? I'm having a lot of people tell me that right now. All of this stuff from when I was young is starting to come up, and now why am I crying? Let it come out. Let it come out. Those beach balls that have been pushed down under the water for a very long time, now the nervous system finally has an opportunity to release these things. There is such a thing called cellular memory. There is cellular memory in your nerves, in your brain, in your body. All of those things have been stored deep, and then the moment they finally have an opportunity to release, they will. They haven't had a moment of safety. They haven't had a moment of peace. They haven't had a moment of stillness. And now that you're able to hear a voice like this and go on that journey and integrate and give yourself stillness and peace and compassion and grace and love, the cellular memory can start to clear. If anybody is ever in a church that actually has the Holy Spirit, they're kind of rare, hard to find, but they do exist. If you're in a church environment where the real Holy Spirit is there, a lot of times you'll see people that will shake when they feel like they're burning. What's going on? Their cellular memory is burning inside of their nervous system. It's being destroyed. And all of a sudden, afterwards, they're like, wow. They feel an immensity of peace, of love in the present moment, and there's so much relief, right? Because that cellular memory got burned away. Excellent. So sometimes life will push you to confront what you've avoided. Sometimes life will automatically push you to see and look at what you've been avoiding. And sometimes it's going to smack you in the face in a very powerful way if you keep avoiding it. Especially now that you've heard my voice. If you run, if you distract from it, if you ignore it, it's going to hit you in the face even harder. It happens. No, I'll look at this addiction tomorrow. No, I'll look at that tomorrow. Right? I'm going to keep living in my patterns. I don't want to change. I'm going to keep living in this comfort, right? So life will push it in your face to wake up. So this is where law of attraction manifestation gets it wrong. All of the greatest spiritual teachers of all time talk about either shadow work or bringing things up in your awareness, in your unconscious. Christ says in the Gospel of Thomas, that which is left in the darkness is that which will destroy you. That which is brought into the light is that which will save you. Eckhart Tolle talks about emotional pain bodies and entities. The Bible talks about evil spirits. Alan Watts talks about walking through the dark nights of the soul. So those that are willing to go through the depths of the darkness can reach the power of the light. If someone is not willing to go through darkness, you will never enter the true city of light. It'll be fake. It'll be this fake positivity that a lot of people in the law of attraction world live in. I'm so positive 24/7, right? But you can tell that it's a fake mask. You can tell that it's a fake mask. Let me drink another Red Bull and be as positive as possible, but you can tell the energy is draining while they're doing it. There isn't an authenticity, there isn't a peace, there isn't a love, there isn't a joy, right? There isn't a nervous system that has completely surrendered itself. It is just positivity 24/7. And what happens is we live in a world of dualities. We live in polarities. For every north, there's a south. For every east, there's a west. For every up, there's a down. For every good, there's a bad. For every right, there's a wrong, right? So in a very same way, if someone is forcing themselves to think positive 24/7 and it's not coming naturally, it's not just the mind that's pouring in from a place of flow, but it's a forced effort, they're creating constrictions within their own experience, and eventually they're going to crash, I promise you. And many people are experiencing that now, and they don't understand what's going on. Some of these people that you see like singing and dancing on music videos that are, I'm so happy all the time, right? Positivity, 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 right? A lot of them are going through the crash and they're very confused. So they're trying to force it more and more and more. Let me drink another Red Bull, right? And get there. So maybe on this journey, they'll reach this. The best way I can say this is Robin Williams. Those of you who know Robin Williams, that was him. Faking to be on the high, I'm so positive, I'm so happy, and I'm making everybody else happy. But on the inside, a massive void, a massive emptiness, and a lot of actual despair and depression going on inside, right? Jim Carrey was the exact same way, but Jim Carrey woke up. He's no longer even an actor anymore. He just speaks now on the spiritual experience that he went through. But Jim Carrey was the same way. He was pretending, he was putting on a mask to make everybody else happy. I'm so joyful, I'm so happy, I'm so positive. But it was not real. It was not real. And that's what he explains now on his journey. He said that was a character, it wasn't real. Right? And now he actually follows his real joy. Yeah, now he's painting. Right? All right, so approaching those innermost caves, very important. Shadow work is the passageway to elevation. Understand this. Shadow work is the passageway to elevation. If you can overcome yourself with courage, the only battle that truly exists is that which is going on inside of you. In the Bible, it talks about separating the wheat and the chaff. There'll be two men in a bed, right? One will be lifted and one will be left behind. Let both grow until the day of the harvest. What do you think is going on inside? What do you think is going on inside? You have this nice little quiet voice. You're conscious. Holy Spirit, hey, I love you. Go this way. This is the right path. Right? You're so strong. You're so courageous. And then you have this other voice. You're a pile of garbage. You're never going to amount to anything. Why are you even around? Nobody loves you anyway. Can't you see yourself? You're fat. You're ugly. You're stupid. You're too old. You're never going to get clean from this addiction. Why even try? This guy's an evil cult. Don't listen to him. Whatever that voice is telling you. Right? Whatever that voice is telling you. Okay, next up we have the ordeal. Next up we have the ordeal. Some of you are going through this right now, or you already have, or maybe it's coming. What is the ordeal? This is your greatest internal battle. This is the great big one. This is the dark nights of the soul, the ego collapse, the identity collapse. This is the crisis in life. Loss, betrayal, breakdown, hitting rock bottom, or just those immense internal battles. There's so much frustration and anger inside of myself. There's so much hatred inside of myself. There's so much pain, so much loss. I can't handle this anymore. That's the ordeal. Some of you have been going through that. Sometimes those one-on-ones will bring up those ordeals on purpose, because the old self has to go before the new self comes in. What does Christ say? You do not pour new wine into old wineskin, lest the wineskin burst. You need a new vessel to accept a new mind, new emotions, new identity. You need a new, clean vessel. You have to get rid of the old to live in the new, right? So the old self must go for the new self to live. So sometimes it goes through the great ordeal. The great ordeals. Have any of you ever been in crisis, in a great loss, betrayal, or breakdown? This guy had the immensity of all of them, all at once, to the extremes. Deep amount of debt, on the street, can't eat, can't feed my pets, sick, ill body, dying for many, many years, can't even barely move, crawling to the toilet, right? Can't function, 95 pounds, going out on my grave bed, right? So no friends, losing all friends, losing family, losing everything. So sometimes you go through great ordeals, sometimes you hit rock bottom. Why? Because then you have no choice. I had no choice but to surrender. what was my only other choice? All right, I mean, I'm not going to live anymore anyway. I guess I'm just going to surrender. Right? All right, excellent. Next up, after the ordeals, if you make it through the ordeals, this is when you start to see the rewards. Right? When you make it through those big ordeals, the massive emotional attacks, the immense amount of loss or pain or suffering or whatever it is, when you make it through that, you start to see some of the rewards. This is when you feel the breakthroughs. This is when you feel your courage. Wow, look at what I went through. You start to access a new level of clarity, a new level of strength, of self-awareness. Maybe you start to see a garden start to grow in your life, like a business or something like that. You get to see maybe new friends, right? Maybe you heal a family member relationship. So after those ordeals, you can feel those massive breakthroughs. Or if you go through a really rough time emotionally, and you make it through that wave, then you have a lot of peace or joy on the other side. There's been certain times in one-on-ones with myself where someone is having an anxiety attack or they're having a lot of despair, and literally 5 minutes later, after we walk them through a beautiful process, then they're laughing. Wow, why do I feel so much peace all of a sudden? And then they're laughing. Because the reward is right behind it. Go ahead and type that in the chat. The reward is right behind it. The reward is right behind it. So be patient, trust the process, right? Be patient, trust the process. For those of you that have been diving in on this journey and you've been consistent, be patient and trust the process. For those of you who run or hide or distract or ignore, then you'll meet at a different time. Maybe we'll meet again. Reward is right behind it. Right? Excellent. So after the rewards, this is when you start to return back, yeah? After you've accessed more clarity, more strength, more courage, once you've grown in a new way, you start to come back. Maybe you overcame an addiction. Maybe you overcame poverty. Maybe you overcame loss of grieving in your life, whatever it may be. Then you start to make the road back. You start to reintegrate. Right? You reintegrate what you've learned, you reintegrate your new understandings. This is when you start to come back into the world. A lot of people isolate. You're not meant to be isolated forever, okay? Sometimes isolation's a beautiful thing for a little while so you can learn yourself, so you can heal, so you can grow inside, but your journey is not meant to be a monk living by yourself for the next 50 years so you can hopefully be enlightened at some point. Right? Isolation is a nervous system tactic. It's a fear response, right? Running away, hiding, numbing, distracting. I don't like the world. They make me stressed out. They frustrate me or they make me scared. I'm fearful, whatever it may be. I get social anxiety. There's too much chaos, too much worry, whatever it is. Isolation is a nervous system response. It is not freedom. All right, it's not freedom. When you're feeling spiritually empowered and free, you will walk into the world no problem. You will talk to others no problem. Why? Because you'll see them all as yourself and you'll just want to love them. What does Christ say? Love all brothers and sisters as yourself, right? No reason to run and hide from all of your brothers and sisters. Why would I want to run and hide from all of my beautiful sisters and brothers? Makes no sense, right? So isolation is a fear response. Okay, excellent. So that's on the road back, you're rebuilding a new identity from what you've learned from your truth, right? You're changing your habits, your environments, and your alignment. You're changing your habits, your environment, and your alignment. So I speak on the mind being programmed from the three environments. We have the physical environment, we have the social environment, and then we have the inner world environment. So your physical environment is your home, it's a church, it's a school, it's a hospital, it's a sporting event, it's a bar, right? It's a beach or nature. These are all physical environments. Then we have the social environments, social media. You better believe as you're scrolling through social media, your emotions can change. Your belief systems can change. You're being programmed every single second on social media, whether you want to or not. If those of you that go watch the news right now, you might be in fear very, very quickly. Where right now you feel a lot of peace, a lot of love, you feel spaciousness. You're like, wow, I can relax. My nervous system can relax for a moment. But if you turn on the news, I promise you the opposite will happen. Why? Because it's a social programming. All of a sudden, you might be angry or frustrated or living in a lot of fear and anxiety and worry again. So part of this journey is understanding how to create your environments yourself. You start to gain control over your environments because you know how they serve you. That's like choosing the music that you listen to, choosing the movies, choosing the television, that which serves you for your mind, for your growth, and it gives you peace, love, joy, happiness, not the opposites. Not fear, not hopelessness, not despair, not worries, not angers and frustrations and shames and guilts, right? Yeah. Beautiful. So after the road back and starting to change a lot of the environments, right? Like in here is definitely an environment as well. Then we have the resurrection. Right? Next up, we have the resurrection. Go ahead and grab for those of you that have the Daily Heart Me and you're part of the fan club, go ahead and put the phoenix in there. Take the phoenix picture and put it in the chat. Take the phoenix and put it in the chat. Boom. Resurrection. All right, for you, this is the embodiment of stepping into your new self fully, right? Stepping in your new self fully. For many in the Marvel films, this represents when they defeat the bad guy and then they're fully resurrected. For Christ, it's when he rose on the cross, or when he rose from the dead after the third day after being put on the cross, right? Resurrection for him. Resurrection for you would be feeling like the new self completely, final transformation. And then the world starts to react to your new self. The world is no longer reacting to your old self, but to your new self. Why? Because your identity is set, your vibration is set. And everything and everyone is a mirror to your own awareness. So this is not who you were, this is who you always were. Right. Let's go. This is not who you were, this is who you always were, you just forgot.
No, please, don't leave me. Father, don't leave me.
What is Mufasa telling him? Remember who you are. Go back. Take the Pride Land. Go get your Pride Land. Wake up your courage. Wake up your strength. Wake up your spiritual empowerment. Wake up. Become a conscious creator. Speak beauty. Speak love. Speak life into yourself. And go take your Pride Land back. Don't let Scar, don't let the darkness overtake it. Don't let the darkness, don't let Scar overtake all the things that are good and beautiful in your life. All things that represent love, that represent money, all things that represent health, all things that represent joy and peace. Do not let the darkness win and overtake it. Go take your Pride Land back.
What is the nothing?
It's the emptiness that's left. It is like a despair, destroying this world.
So next up we have returning with the elixir after the resurrection. After the rebirth, then guess what? You have this beautiful elixir. You have this beautiful new gift to share with the world, or your growth. You have new understandings, you have new insights, you have new strength. You have new clarity. Maybe you have something you want to create. Wow, I got all these wonderful ideas I want to create. Maybe all of a sudden you're sober when you were addicted to something for 20 years, and now you have this great elixir. I want to do all these things, right? Some people go through that. So that sharing your growth with others, it's becoming a lighthouse for change for others. Hey, I was an alcoholic for 30 years. I lost everything. And now I'm sober. I have my own business. I'm doing this, this, and this. I'm just saying, for example, right? And now they are becoming a lighthouse for others to help those through their journey. They're teaching, leading, inspiring, serving. Right? So a lot of the times your own healing can be the map of liberation for somebody else. Right? Sometimes your own journey, your own healing can be the map in liberation for somebody else, but do not pretend this is what social media does. So many people are saying, I'm a healer, I'm a spiritual healer, or I'm a spiritual guru, and they have no freedom, they have no healing, they have no health, they have no love, they have no joy, they have no peace. And they're trying to create something out of it, to make money or to look popular or whatever it is. Right? You must go through the journey first, and the rebirth has to happen. So a lot of people are trying to do it from a place of, I'm the healer, right? Or whatever it may be, without being liberated themselves already. This is why Eckhart Tolle, Alan Watts, Moji, Ram Dass, why their words are so powerful, why their journey is so powerful, because they actually are liberated. Carl Jung, yeah, they're actually liberated, right? So their words are very, very powerful, but there's a lot of people who try and teach those things or do those things without true liberation inside, right? So you want to be liberated first. Next up, right? The choice to remain as you are at that point, right? That's definitely a false belief. You must be wounded to become a healer, definitely a false belief. But a lot of people that go on the path, where's the only true healing happen? It's going to happen within the field of energy, right? No human being can truly do it. It's going to come through existence, is going to come through God, right? It's going to come through the energy itself. So next up, we have the ascension decision. That's choosing to remain awakened. Yeah, choosing to remain in that state rather than going back to the world, back to the old patterns, back to the old ways. No, I'm going to live as this new version of myself. I'm going to treat myself with more love, more kindness. I'm going to treat others in the same way. I'm going to change all my habits, right? I'm going to create beautiful things. I'm going to live a life of love rather than destruction. I'm going to grow things rather than destroy things. Right? Choosing alignment instead of autopilot. I'm no longer going to live in just autopilot. I'm going to choose alignment instead. I'm going to live a life of creativity rather than just going through the motions. Right? Ascension decision. So that's not an event. It's not an event that's going to be a decision and an everyday thing. Okay, that's not a one solid event. That's a decision and an everyday thing. Beautiful. Next up, we have a new timeline. Guess what? Your reality is now different. It's elevated. It's going to be different. You feel different. You think different. People act around you differently. It feels like a whole new world. A whole new world. Right? A whole new world. And say, I can show you the world. New timeline. So stepping into an elevated reality. Yeah. You embody peace, clarity, purpose, creativity, adventure. Life begins to reorganize around your new frequency. A new fantastic point of view. Yeah, exactly. I wish I had that song on right now. Maybe I'll play it. Maybe I'll play it for all of you just to be fun. Life begins to reorganize around your higher frequency, right? Go ahead and type that in the chat. Life begins to reorganize around your higher frequency. This is how the quantum field works. This is what science proven. Atoms are a result of the field, not the other way around. The physical does not create the energy creates the physical. So when these fields of energy and these universal laws are meeting each other, like gravity, for example, and music, right? When they are meeting each other and there's resistance in the field to each other, it's creating the atoms themselves, creating the experience itself. So when your frequency, when your energy changes, when your emotions, your thoughts, your mind changes, guess what? The physical world starts to mold and change around you as well. In the Bible, it says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. If the Spirit of God is in an environment with immense amount of peace, of love, of joy, of understanding, it will harmonize everything around it. It will harmonize everything in that environment. And if it doesn't harmonize it, that person will leave. Right? If someone becomes very angry or frustrated, they will not be able to stay in that environment. They will have to leave. Not because I'm judging them or somebody else is judging them, it's because they're not surrendering to it. So if someone comes into an environment like this and they don't surrender to it, they will fight, they will kick, they will scream, they will argue, and then they will have to run away if they don't end up falling into the harmony of it. Because there's the opportunity either to accept and fall into it or to run away from it. Because where the Spirit of God is, there is liberty, right? There's freedom. All right, next up, the divine mirror. Next up, we have the divine mirror. Divine mirror. That's when you start to see the divinity in many, many things, many beings. Seeing your own divinity reflected back, yeah. This is when you start to see all of those mirrors. Oh, they're acting that way around me. They're saying that thing. Something must be going on inside of myself. They're a mirror to how I feel. They're a mirror to what I'm thinking. They're a mirror to this, to that, right? So you're no longer looking at the world in the same way. You're no longer judging people. You're starting to look at yourself. Right? Looking at our own self rather than judging all the people. Excellent. Last but not least, we have the creator state. So highest timeline embodiment and creator state. This is when spiritual empowerment and conscious creation has basically made its way through your mind. You're working from a higher mind, a higher understanding. You understand that you are creating ever-present moment through your thoughts, through the words that are coming through your being, through the emotions that are emanating from your state, and there's no circumstance that can really bog you down. No big deal, I'll create something new. Right? You're living from flow, from creativity, from intuition, from confidence. You're living from a higher mind. You're living from the words of Christ. Right? If somebody truly embodies the words that Jesus was saying, they're able to manifest and create things in a powerful way. He says, you will go into the world and do even greater things than I. When you say to the mountain, move, cast into the sea, it shall be cast into the sea. As your faith be it done unto you. As a man or woman thinketh in their heart, so are they. Right? So that's creator state. What does it say? Humans are made in the image of God. Take on the mind of the image of your creator. Be there transformed by the renewal of your mind. That is the reckoning and the beauty of that path. Right? So that is the beauty of that path. No longer living from lack, from limitation, from a state of consciousness of always living in fear, worry, anxieties, doubts, confusions, but understanding where all of your answers are. Excellent. Very, very powerful journey. Many of you probably recognized where you were at as I walked through that. Right? Some of you might be caught in between a couple stages all at once. But what a beautiful understanding it is to have. I'm going to go ahead and allow people to come up at this point in time. I'm going to go ahead and allow people to come up and chat. Everybody has a different journey. So there's a pink and blue person at the bottom. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. There's pink and blue people on the bottom there. If you want to come up and ask questions, if you want to talk about your own experience, your own journey. Some people have had near-death experiences. Some people have had spiritual awakenings. Some people are just confused. Maybe you need to release emotions, or you just have questions. Please be the first one to break the ice and come up and chat. I promise I will not harm you. Right? I might point out a couple things. That's generally what I do. I just point out a couple things to free your mind a little bit more. So, excellent. We got someone to break the ice. So first up, we have Kelsey, and then whoever comes up after. We're going to go one by one here and just allow individuals to come up now.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, one second. My volume might be a little bit low.
Oh, sorry. I have an AirPod in.
No, just my mic volume. Okay, perfect. Hi, Kelsey. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Excellent. Yeah, doing fabulous. Thanks for coming up and breaking the ice. Normally it takes a little while for someone to be like, I don't want to be the first one.
Yeah. I requested, I think, like a week ago, but then it didn't work out, and it's kind of feeling it out. So it's cool that it worked out now.
Excellent. What brings you up?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll just share where I'm at. I went through a really intense nervous system thing in January, and it's taken me, well, it started like middle of December, and I started to get more...
A course, or you just mean emotionally?
Like nervous system dysregulation. So yeah, emotional, but like physical. So like I was just like dysregulated for a while, and then it snowballed, and then I've been rehabilitating myself for a couple months now. I'm finally starting to like feel more myself, but it was freaking intense. It was like I tried to go to a emergency place because it was so intense. And sleep has been a struggle for me. Like it kind of is related.
Whatever the technique that you're attempting, it's definitely not the I don't want to say proper path, because you're doing exactly what you were meant to in the time, but when it comes to a nervous system regulating itself, for example, the deer grazing in the grass, I feel so good. I can relax, I can be at peace. So if something is causing an immense difference, like if it's going the opposite way, we need to challenge that technique.
Okay. Like
if you're not feeling a release and a relief inside of yourself, and it's the opposite, this is too intense, it's the technique is either being used wrong, or it's not serving your journey whatsoever. For example, if someone goes in a one-on-one with myself and they want their nervous system to relax, I've never once had someone go, like at the end, every single time they're like, wow, I feel so much better.
Yeah. Well, the thing that happened was I do somatic processing, which is like body feeling. So I breathe into my sides of my body and I feel the sensations, and it's helped me heal a lot of trauma and stuff. But I was in a relationship, and I stopped prioritizing myself and my body and caring for myself, and like checking out my capacity of what I'm available for and when I need to take space to like work on myself. And I just overrid myself, and then it spiraled into an intense thing.
So this is going to be very powerful for a lot of people and for yourself. This is what happens oftentimes on a lot of people's journey. That which is the fractured ego identity is trying to change itself. For example, I need to love myself more. I need to say I love myself, write in a mirror, write in a journal. I need to do all these things, but it's coming from the fractured ego identity itself. So it's actually reinforcing that same pattern, rather than the truth of yourself, which is already whole and complete. When that shines forth and shines through, the false illusions fade away, and then your nervous system can relax in the present moment. So a lot of the times it's like a forced effort, and it becomes a very, very long journey for a lot of people. I'm broken, I'm broken, I'm broken, I'm broken, I'm broken, I'm broken. So then doing all this somatic healing, and then you might end up doing it every day for years because I'm broken, I'm broken, I'm broken. And the ego, it spins itself. So I know a lot of times we don't want to hear those things because it becomes a part of our identity, but that's to free a lot of people.
Yeah, so you're saying shifting the belief to I'm whole and I'm complete.
So it's not even a belief. That's actually the truth of yourself that I'm pointing to. Mm-hmm. But so the mind grabs onto all these beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
You're with me present right here, right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything that's happened in the past or in the future, it's always the mind that's bringing it up in the present moment, always. Always, always, always. The reason that we do things like inner child healing is so then the integration happens very, very quickly. Your mind, your nervous system, it understands I'm safe right now. Okay, I'm safe right now. I get it. So the nervous system learns very, very quickly. I'm no longer living in those things. I'm safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to feel that way, like all the time, you know. That's what I've been working on in different ways. I do. So the thing that I do is like embodiment. Are you familiar with that? It's just like, it helps being present in the body. So you're connected to your body and you're letting go of the identity or not engaging or attaching to identity.
So you're going to experience whatever you're aware of. Yeah, you're just going to experience whatever you're aware of. So some people are very aware of their body and other people are not as aware of their body, right? So if it's serving you on your journey, then use it. Mm-hmm. But for other people, for example, they're going to want to feel more connection with spirit than with their body.
Yeah.
So Christ says, keep your mind on things above, not on earthly things. Keep your mind on godly things, not on earthly things. So for some people, being more in your body might serve you, but for other people, being more with God might serve them, right?
Okay. So like, how do you help people exactly? You said you do like inner child work.
So in the one-on-ones, depending on how they unfold, what's going to happen is someone is explaining what's going on with their mind. I'm feeling this, I'm thinking this, this is where I feel stuck, this is where I have pain, whatever it is. And depending on how that is projected out of their experience, I'm able to see it in that moment, where it's stored in the body, how it's been programmed, how it's been formed. And then we are able to pull it apart. Because when the mind can see itself and it's aware of how something got formed in the first place, for example, I don't love myself, low self-worth, I have no confidence. However those things got formed in the first place, when they're able to get unraveled and peeled away and seen in its fullness, this is when real transformation happens. So a lot of times people are trying to do it from their own level of consciousness. The best way I can say this is, you don't know what you don't know, right? And the reason why it is unconscious is because it's below the level of consciousness. So a lot of law of attraction teachers will tell you, oh, just work with your unconscious mind. Just figure out everything about yourself. It's unconscious, right? It's not in conscious awareness. So for a lot of people, they could go on a journey for 50 years and never figure out things that are going on deep inside of themselves. But if someone else has a very, very big understanding of how the mind is programmed in the first place, they can pick it out very, very quickly.
Yeah. What if I'm aware of my thoughts and fear, like that they're fear.
Yeah.
But then I get into it comes and goes in waves. I'll kind of experience moments or periods of time where it's like I am really latching on to the fear things. But then there's moments where, like you mentioned the spirit, where I am really in flow with spirit, and I am more connected in the present moment and just kind of flowing through that. Is what it feels like. Yeah, I don't know.
So is there a resistance or a resentment to either of them, or?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of resistance to the former one, which is the more of like the contraction phase of latching onto the fears.
Yeah.
Because it's
So,
uncomfortable.
right. So you're saying that there's resistance and it's uncomfortable if you are in the resistance phase and you are feeling fear, right?
Yeah.
So what does resistance create more of? If I'm resisting this experience, what is it going to create more of?
Resistance and pain and suffering.
Yeah. So the very act of very thought and very emotion of I don't want to be in this because of the resistance creates more what?
Sorry, say it again.
The very thought, the emotion, or the I don't want to be in this because it feels there's resistance here, I don't like the feeling of it, it creates more of
Resistance.
the same, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where a lot of people get stuck in patterns, and the ego spins because it goes, well, I don't want to feel this, I need to get out of it, right? And then a lot of times we push the beach ball down, we get frustrated, we resent it, whatever it may be.
Yeah. So then the opposite of that is surrender and allowing, which definitely has helped me a lot on my path, and that's helped me come out of the spiral. But it takes time sometimes. Each day it gets better. Oh, it's intense.
So what is surrender and allowing? Trusting your journey, trusting a higher will over your mind. What does Christ say? Your will be done, Father, not mine, right? And then when he's on the cross, he says, God, why have you forsaken me? That was like the ultimate moment where he had like immense amount of resistance, right? God, why have you forsaken me? So that would be somebody's ultimate rock bottom. Why me? Why am I going through this? Why so much resistance? Why so much pain?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. I've come around to recognize the resistance is what causes the suffering. So yeah, thank you. That's helpful to remind me, because I go through my experience and then I remember it, but then it's like sometimes I'm just not, it's not in my awareness because I'm living life, but that makes a lot of sense. Ugh, the dang resistance, man. See, now I'm resisting it again.
But then the awareness of that is the beginning to the transformation and change, because then you're aware of it and then you say, well, now am I going to resist the experience, or am I going to collapse myself into it more? Am I going to surrender into it more? Can I just allow myself to feel this in its fullness regardless of how crappy it feels?
Yeah, definitely.
Because in truth, it's just a movement of energy, right? A lot of times people are afraid of feeling fear or anger or frustration or worry or depression or whatever it is. But in truth, it's a movement of energy inside. So when you remove this whole meaning and story to how terrible it is, and you kind of nullify it a little bit, it's just energy moving. No big deal.
Yep. That's awesome. That's exactly what I've been practicing. And again, I'll be in flow of that, and then I just got carried away by the fear. It just caught up to me. But yeah, I'm coming back to all of it now. Do you
where did it carry you?
Into a really dark place, but that story as well, because it was just energy moving technically, and I guess I needed to work through resistance in my being to free myself of that. But it was. And
where did the dark
intense.
place exist? Where did the dark place exist?
Inside of me.
And created through?
The identity.
Of the fear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So what I'm doing is just little seeds. That's it. So when fear starts to pop up, right? If fear starts to pop up, you recognize where it wants to take you. I see you, fear. I know where you want to take me.
Yeah.
Right? I have a choice to choose in this moment. Am I going to allow you to take me into the darkness, or nope? You don't have control to do that to me. You have no power to bring me into the darkness. I am going to stay in the light. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I like that. I need to write that down.
Yeah. So this journey about becoming spiritually empowered is where you actually now have more conscious choice over what you're aware of in your experience. Otherwise, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
I point to nervous systems and minds being hijacked. Do we really have a choice if we're feeling depressed a lot or angry a lot or sad or whatever, right? Do we really have a choice? Would we always be choosing those things? Or addictions? Or fear? Or anxiety and panic attacks?
Yeah, not really. It's like an unconscious thing that starts to manifest, and then it grabs our attention to help us show what's out of balance in ourself and our body and energy.
That's right.
So then we can come back to the trueness of ourselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well said.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely in alignment with stuff I've been practicing for a few years. Which is cool that I found you randomly on FYP. I love how like that happens. Feels kind of divine. Like I people come through that are in alignment.
Yeah. Everything is always working out for your highest and greatest good. You can never be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's a universal impossibility. Right?
Yeah.
So if you were to see everything as one structure, the universe is all energy as one. Every tree, every blade of grass, every building, every car is all in its perfect place. You're in your perfect place. I don't exist right now unless you're here. That's how important you are to existence, Kelsey. I don't exist. They don't exist unless you're here in this moment.
Yeah. Ooh, that's so cool.
We're all one here together.
So basically, with my energy is mirroring to myself the trueness of me through you.
Yes.
That's so dope. Cool. Well, yeah, I love these talks and these reminders. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming up. Thank you for breaking the ice.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful talk. Everybody give Kelsey some love. Very, very appreciative and grateful for her being in here. Who would like to come up next? That was a wonderful conversation. If you have questions, if you want to talk about your journey, everybody's in a different place and on their path, right? Maybe you need to release energies or emotions. Feel free to come up and ask questions, talk about your experience, or release. There's the pink and blue people on the bottom left. And Kelsey broke the ice. So who's next? What brave soul is next? I know if you're feeling inside, I kind of want to come up, just do it. Just do it. If you're feeling that, I kind of want to come up inside of yourself, just do it. All right, excellent. We got a taker. We got Joseph. All right, excellent, brother. Hey, brother.
Hey, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm okay. So,
excellent.
I was wondering, like, if people that like are coming back in my life that I've cut ties with in the past, like, but they're like worming their way in, like, and I can't like tell them no. I can't tell them they can't be around me for whatever reason. How would you suggest to do that? Like, because the way that they're doing it is pretty clever.
So you're not given many options. You're saying I don't want them to come back in, but they're coming back in. There's no choice. I have to let them back in. So what is it that you're really asking? Like,
so how would I be mean without being mean? Like, because I love these people, but I don't want to be around these people.
So in truth, you want to love them from afar, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So, for example, hey, we no longer think alike. I love you, but I'm just we're not on the same page anymore.
Okay. Say that they're hanging out with my roommate. So they're in the same house as me.
Well, you're not going to have control over that then. So as I point to, do you want to be free, right? Or do you want to try and control the outside world? So other people's choices, their actions, their emotions, their thoughts, you're not going to be able to control those things. But you can still feel freedom inside of yourself. So let's say if they're around you, that which goes on inside of you, maybe you feel anger or resentment or jealousy or whatever it is, because they're around you in that environment. That's an opportunity to go inside of yourself. Hey, am I going to really allow these people to make me feel this way?
Yeah, you're right. All right, well, I appreciate you.
Neil, thanks so much. Yeah, do you have anything else you wanted to talk about while you're up here? Take advantage of it.
Not right this time. I got other people with me, so I'll wait.
No problem. Thanks for coming up, brother.
Thank you.
All right, everybody show Joseph some love. Appreciate him for coming up. Thanks, brave souls. All right, next up we got prosperity. Prosperity loves company. Right? Prosperity loves company. Prosperity is not connecting. You're going to have to try again. If you want to come up, prosperity, it's not connecting. You'll have to try again. Next up, we got... Click on the pink and blue people on the bottom if you want to come up and chat. Next up, we got Benji, and then Marcy's, and then Beverly. So it goes Benji, Marcy, and then Beverly. And if you want to come up, go ahead and click on the bottom people on the left. Hi, Benji.
Accepted your request to join the live as a guest.
Hi, Benji. Can you hear me? Benji, are you there? Okay, I don't think Benji can hear me or isn't aware. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. Make sure if you click on the bottom left there that you are aware that you're coming up. Okay, next up we got Copper. It looked like someone got off of the list. If you want to come up and chat, ask questions, talk about your experience, or release emotions, feel free to click on the people on the bottom left. Hi, Copper.
Hello?
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing here, honestly.
Sometimes that's the best.
You
right?
showed up on my FYP and, right in the middle of all my feelers.
There you go.
So
Sometimes when you don't even realize that you're walking on the path, you find it.
Yeah, I don't even know what path I'm on.
What brings you up to chat?
Gosh, I don't know. I just was like, just scrolling and your thing showed up here and you're talking about all the things that I've been real interested in lately, and trying to figure out. And I really appreciated your last girl on there. She was pretty real,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I saw the request button and I hit it, but I've been through a lot of things. I don't know that I'm doing anything right either.
So when you say if I'm not doing anything right,
I mean, I don't know. This is what I'm going to say. So like about 5 years ago, I was in a near-death experience. I had a semi-truck pull out in front of me and I hit it going like 70 miles an hour and I survived it. I don't know how I survived it, but I did. And when I got out, there was no truck there, It was just me.
Yeah.
And so my whole life shifted after that. And everything's different now. And, I've just started having these conversations about my higher self and really trying to figure out what everything means. So I don't know.
Yeah. So you're trying to integrate the experience from what happened.
Yeah, I mean, everything happened after that. I caught my husband cheating on me after 24 years on Christmas Day. And I've spent my whole life as like a probation officer or a drug and alcohol counselor, really giving my heart and soul to everybody, but like,
yeah,
I found myself needing it and couldn't find it.
Yeah. So sometimes we go through betrayal, we go through loss, right? Rejection, sometimes an immense amount of pain to come to a deeper understanding that which is the true unconditional love can't come from another human being. As much as another human can give us lots of love in the present moment, but the deepest of the truth, right, can only come from the eternal.
Yeah. And I really started thinking about that the other day too, and how a lot of things feel so inverted, and I think even at the most core of the inversion of everything is that we don't love ourselves. Like, how can we keep filling from an empty cup?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're an empty well, you can't have anybody drink of you, right?
Right.
So the well needs to be filled. It's got to get the rain. It's got to get the rain.
Yeah, well, you know what had me thinking about it was going on an airplane, you know, and they tell you with the little drop down, they're like, you better put this on yourself or you're not saving anybody else, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like if we aren't asking for God to fill our cup, you know, and being there to be full of ourselves, I don't know. I guess that's kind of makes life too hard.
No, you got it exactly right. You can only give to others who and what you are, right? Or what you have. If I have no food in front of me, I can't feed anybody. If I have no money in my bank account, I can't give anybody money. If I have no peace or joy or love, I can't give anybody those things. Exactly. It's impossible.
And if you can't love yourself, you know,
then good luck, right?
Yeah.
But that's going to be it's going to be a fractured self. For example, when you were 2, when you were 3, when you were 1 years old, you never had to ask those questions. You never had to challenge those questions. Self-love was a natural thing. You weren't like, oh, I better love myself. No, you were just running around playing in the dirt and shaking your booty, right? Like you were 1 or 2 years or 3 years old. So, right, self-love it's a natural part of existence. They're birds and your dog and cats, like they don't need to think about those things. It's only a fractured identity that does, through memories, through pains, through traumas. Otherwise, existence itself is love.
You know, though, nothing shook my confidence before that accident. Nothing. Like, I did love myself. I was confident.
Yeah.
But then that happened, and like it's like my whole identity shifted. I even dated a guy that I shouldn't even be dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who this person is anymore.
You're going through a new experience, right? But if it has to do with your nervous system, I mean, there's different techniques. I'm always biased with the one-on-ones with myself. There's great transformations. But if you feel like your nervous system can't relax because of a car crash, it could serve you in a pretty great way.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think I've not been nervous since I had that happen, but...
Yeah. I talk about cellular stored memory, right, in the cells.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times we're doing things out of that sense of, I don't want this to happen again, or your nervous system is locked into the freeze or flight or fight response.
Right, and I believe in all about, you know, water, our body being a crystalline structure, and, you know, it is, you know, I tell my clients that, you know, like, you're the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. You like your average, you know?
Yes. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. But I'm so good at giving the advice, is what I'm saying. I don't reciprocate for whatever reason.
So if you see everybody else in the world as deserving of love and they deserve peace, right, and everybody is a son and daughter of God, then are you not the same?
No, I know all that, and I believe all of that too. It's just like there's something there that just acts like, you know, I don't know, you got to give it away. Like, I never learned to just receive it. You know what I'm saying?
The valve of receiving is closed, yeah?
Yeah. And it's not like I just shut it or didn't think I wasn't worthy of it. It's like I just would skip right over me, like I didn't need to pay attention or something. It's very bizarre.
I'm not 100% sure what it is, but sometimes shame or guilt can be there if we're not receiving things.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't honestly know. I've got some work to do there.
Mm-hmm. Shame and guilt will close people off a lot of the time to receiving. A lot of the time.
Yeah. Well.
Guilty of doing certain things in life, guilty of addictions or boyfriends or whatever, right? Any sort of thing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we close ourselves off. I'm not deserving of that because I'm not living the way that I think I should be living. I'm not doing what I think I should be doing, whatever it may be.
I always think I should be doing something better.
See, then why would you receive anything if you think that you're not good enough?
I don't know. It's not that I don't think I'm good enough. It's that I don't think I try hard enough, if that makes any difference.
Right.
I don't know. Well, I will definitely have to check in to your services, see what you have to offer.
It's been great. Thanks so much for coming up. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the channel.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Everybody show Copper some love. Thank you, Copper, for coming up. Welcome to the Abundance Gang, the most transformative channel on all of social media anywhere in the world. We got Marcy's next. Starting Monday, we'll be going back to, or starting tomorrow morning, we'll be going back to the normal lives. Monday morning wake up, starting your week with motivation and empowerment, most powerful way to wake up in the world. And then we'll be going back to the nighttime lives as well. I'll be doing the sleep lives again for sleep, peace, rest, and meditation, Monday through Friday evening. Hi, Marcy's.
Hi. I have a
welcome up.
How are you doing?
Fabulous. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I have a question. I am in this new relationship and I put more love and commitment to myself in this relationship. Why is that?
You put more love and commitment into yourself rather than the relationship?
I kind of do both.
There seems to be a lot of confusion there. So if you're feeling full yourself, right? If you're loving yourself, you're going to be able to give somebody else a lot more of yourself, correct?
Yes.
So if you're treating yourself with care, with kindness, if you're loving yourself, taking care of yourself, you're going to be able to give the other person more regardless, yes?
Right.
Okay, so where's the conflict?
But it seems like I'm in this relationship and I want to do better and change. And I change to a person that I want to be. But I feel more love and connection to a person.
So seeking the validation is what you're pointing to.
Yes.
Getting validation from somebody else. So I don't feel whole and complete. I want to be a better person, and this person is validating me.
Right. Give me the attention that I need and deserve.
Yeah. So instead of going within on the journey and finding it from the truth that's coming from another human being, this is what I call the fragmented relationships, which often have massive big storms at some point, right? They're not built on solid ground. They're not built on two whole and complete people. They're validating each other, and eventually there's going to be some massive storm that happens, and then it's all hell breaks loose, chaos.
Is that why all my relationships fail?
And I believe you'd be able to answer that question.
Right.
So when we see a pattern in our life,
Yes.
if something happens over and over and over again, right, there's a pattern.
Big time.
So there's in patterns, there's always an underlying factor that's the same. There's something that's the same in every pattern. The only thing that's the same through every single relationship is that you've been there, right?
Yes.
The people have changed, the faces have changed, but it's the same pattern. So I've been there,
Yes.
right? So we're attached to something in that coin, which is the validation response.
Right. How do I change it?
By seeking that which will truly validate you for all eternity.
Jesus. Right. The Bible and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Yeah. Beautiful. So once you're validated from that in truth fully, then there's no problem with being in a relationship, but it won't be the seeking of validation from others.
But
It'll just simply be an expression of your good. You'll just simply be creating and enjoying with the other person, and not needing them to make you feel good, right? I need you to do this for me to make me feel good. I need this. You'll just be simply sharing the experience with each other.
Right.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
So a lot of people get stuck in that pattern of, I don't feel good. It's your job to make me feel like I look good, or make me feel like I'm attractive, or make me feel like I'm lovable or worthy, or whatever it is. And this causes a very, very long spiral and a pretty destructive relationship. That's why the patterns fall. That's why the pattern shows itself, and they destroy themselves.
That is so true. But in a way, it's like you just want that one love that one relationship, and the only way is actually the Bible.
That one love. I want the one love. What could that one love be? There's one thing in existence that can give me that one love.
But what if you want that touch and everything else, but you're reading the Bible?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a relationship. That's not what I'm pointing to.
Yeah.
Right, you're going to have relationships. You might get married, you might have boyfriend, whatever it may be. That's what I'm pointing to, is that one love that you truly want to feel worth, to feel value, and to not need validation.
It's God, Jesus.
Yeah. Beautiful. So you're answering all of your own questions.
It is kind of funny. I do that quite often.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just need someone to hold the space, and then then the answer just comes out.
So true.
Beautiful. So when you're going back into this relationship, just be mindful. Just be mindful of the times when you're like, am I just enjoying this person and enjoying the experience and giving them what I want? Or am I wanting them to make me feel worthy, make me feel lovable, make me feel attractive, all those things, right? Because that'll be the seeking of the validation, and it'll create a destructive pattern.
That is true.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just bring yourself, I feel whole, I feel complete, I feel attractive, I feel lovable, and then you bring it to the relationship, and it'll be way different. Way different.
And that's what I want.
Yeah. And you're on the path, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, your child, when you were 2-3 years old, that's exactly how they felt.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
This is why children, when they go into like preschool or around kids, they have no problem talking to other friends, right? They don't have to say, am I worthy of getting a friend? They just go talk to them, right? They're just having a good time, and they just go talk to everybody. They're not like, I wonder if I'm worthy of having this friend, right?
No fear.
No fear. That's right. Beautiful.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, is there anything else you want to chat about or ask questions while you're up here?
I think you answered a lot of my questions.
Excellent. Many blessings on your journey, Marcy's.
Thank you.
Thank you for being in here. All right, everybody send her some love. Thank you, Marcy's, for coming up. Every conversation helps a lot of people in here. Everybody has a different journey. Some people can relate with others in a different way, right? Next up, we got Jersey. We got Jersey from Texas.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. I don't use your real name because sometimes people don't want that. So
it's okay. I can't hear you very well, so I don't know what's happening.
My volume's definitely up.
Okay, let me turn mine up again. Okay, yeah, that's better.
Okay, excellent. What brings you up, Terry?
I just wanted to share how amazing the one-on-ones are with you.
Oh, thank you.
And,
yeah.
I think my biggest one was the inner child one. My inner child got activated, and I made a new friend. One day,
there you go.
I went out and I played with this 7-year-old girl. She's outside my apartment. She's always playing by herself. And I just went out and I was like, "You want to play?" And we started playing kickball, and we played for hours. And it was just so much fun to experience that.
And what did I say? That's truly what Jesus would do, right? When people say, "Well, what would Jesus do?" He'd be doing that. Right? When people wonder, well, just wonder what Jesus would do. He'd be playing kickball with the 7-year-old. Right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he'd be doing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's your inner child enjoying the innocence of the other child. And not only, it probably made her day too, or her week, or her year, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, she's fun.
Can you talk about the type of transformation that you've had with your own inner emotions or inner child since doing the one-on-ones?
Yeah, I've done, I've had some healing with the inner child as well. Just, looking at her and having conversations, telling her that she's safe and I don't know. It's just like inner dialogue with her, and that was really special.
Yeah, it's a beautiful journey that you've been on, that's for certain. And then you're able to play more now, right? And you're able to have more fun. You feel more peace.
Yes, a lot. And I, just the affirmations, like I'm never out of any ideas, and I'm always at the right place at the right time. One day, I think one of them was, I attract like-minded people. And I can't tell you, I think there was probably like 3 people I saw that day that were just so joyful. And it was just very apparent that we were feeling the same way. One man I passed, in his truck, and he was just like smiling and laughing, and a lady at the supermarket, and I forgot what the other person was, but it was kind of fun. It's fun to see that,
Yeah.
The outer world.
That's amazing. The quantum field is always collapsing into things like attracts like unto itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the magnet's attracting unto itself. So depending on your vibrational frequency that you're holding, the field will collapse more into place to meet you where you're at. And then sometimes people say opposites attract, but it's not true. When it comes to actual physics and quantum physics, it's not true. Like will attract like unto itself. This is why you see homeless, there are communities of homeless, right? Because they're all living in poverty, lack, limited mindset, or addiction, or whatever it is. And then you see communities of people that are very, very wealthy. They all live together.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So now you're attracting the joyful. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you wanted to ask while you're up here, or talk more about your experience? Or
no, I think I'm gonna book another one-on-one with you, and we'll go through some other stuff. But maybe go into some dark caves. I don't know.
Perfect. What I say, Joseph Campbell, the greatest treasures that you seek lay in the caves that you dare not enter, right? So anybody that's willing to go in the caves, no problem. Boom. You're searching for the treasures right away.
Yeah.
Let's go. Excellent. Thanks so much for coming up, Terry. You're a blessing.
Welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Everybody show Jersey some love for coming up, and then we'll move on to the next person here. Thank you for mentioning in those one-on-ones. For those of you who are interested, I work one-on-ones with individuals every Monday through Friday. My calendar's pretty full for this week. I might have another spot or two. It'd have to be next week. But it's all about transformation of your emotions, of your mind, going into memories, regulating your nervous system, right? Creating more peace, more love, more joy, more freedom inside of yourself is the whole purpose of it for your journey. Sometimes people sign up for them for just the deepest level of truth. They say, I've been on the awakening path for a long time and something's stuck. I can't get past a wall, whatever it is. And then sometimes I'll meet people in those paths as well. Royals is next. If Royals wants to come up and chat. Hi, Royals. Can you hear me, Royals? I think Royals turned it off. Yeah, she muted. Okay. Might have been a mistake that she clicked on that. If you do want to come up again, Royals, you're going to have to click on the 2 people on the bottom left there. Next up, we got Dana. We got Dana next, and then we got Benji and Dudley and Beverly. Actually, I think Beverly's been waiting for a while. I'll invite you up, Beverly. I don't know. It keeps booting you to the bottom for some reason. I'm going to go with Beverly. Oh, she might have left. Okay, I'm clicking on a lot of people, and a lot of people have already left. Dudley and then Benji. Dudley might have left as well. Okay. And then Benji. Benji might have left also. Wow. That was a lot of people that were in and out, in and out, in and out. On the bottom left, if you'd like to come up and chat, ask questions about your spiritual or soul journey, if you want to voice your own experience, maybe you've had quite the journey, maybe you need to release some emotions, there's the two people on the bottom left. Would love to have you come up and talk. Let's go, Celeste. I don't know if you meant to hit that, but if you're coming up, let's go.
Hello.
Hi, Celeste.
Hi. I did mean to do it.
Excellent. Happy to hear you and see you up here.
Thanks. I just had a question about an experience that I had. Just wanted to know your thoughts on it. It's not really something you could Google.
Yeah.
So a couple years back, I experienced in the same day, someone who had passed. And, I was physically there after the passing. And then within the next 4 hours, I saw birth physically.
You saw what? Birth.
A birth of a
birth.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw an elderly woman. I don't want to say anything I can't say on TikTok.
Yeah, passed. Yeah, passed is fine or unalived. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was supposed to pick up my friend who was 9 months pregnant, her mom, from the airport, and that day, and she happened to give birth early. So I ended up going to the hospital again for the second day to see a newborn baby.
Sure.
And I was just, I like it. I know it means something. Everything happens for a reason, and I just can't I don't know.
It's beautiful. You got to see the whole cycle all in one day.
Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Yeah, you got to see the whole cycle all in one day. So what I point to is, especially with the quantum, that your body is made up of all of these atoms and cells, right? Every single moment and every single year, you're getting new atoms. The old ones are gone, the new ones are in. So not one single piece of the atom is the true you, right? None of those is what you really are. You're not your brain, you're not your hand, you're not your stomach, you're not any of it, right? So you get to see the whole cycle of the body leaving and then a new one coming. The body leaving and a new one coming, but it's all one in the same process.
Right. But do you think that was like a preview for what's happening now with myself? Like the rebirth?
Sure, it could be. I mean, you can give whatever meaning you want to it there. That's going to be your own mind perspective if you want to give it meaning of that. For example, for this guy, it would just be a beautiful experience. I would just be like, wow, it's a beautiful experience. I saw someone leave and then saw someone come into the life. But if you want to have it represent your becoming anew and the old leaving, certainly could.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm always looking for a reason of why something happened. Like I want the explanation for it instead of it just being an experience, I guess.
So in truth, everything is an experience. Right? Everything is an experience. So the meaning is always coming through the mind, and whatever meaning and belief that we're giving something, we're creating more of it.
Well, then I guess that's a good. then it's okay that I think like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no right or wrong with your perspective on it, but unless it feels terrible. I mean, if your perspective felt terrible, then I would challenge that.
No, it was just one of those amazing things that I don't know how many people, I think it's a rare thing that someone would experience that in the same day. And when I do tell someone the story, they're always like, wow. Well,
yeah, very rare. Maybe doctors, but other than that, not very many. I'm sure a lot of doctors experience that, but other than that, probably not many people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the fact that my friend wasn't due yet, and she just, I happened to be picking her mom up from the airport, and
yeah. It also puts you on a very interesting emotional journey. I don't know if you paid close attention to your emotions through that day, but you'll go through many, right?
Yeah, I think I was more just in shock and exhausted from the whole experience. The elderly lady I was very close with, she was my downstairs neighbor, and we were really close.
Yeah, your emotions are going to swing in all sorts of different directions. How am I supposed to feel? Am I supposed to feel elated and happy because there's a baby, or sad and depressed because my neighbor died, or what do I do, right? So you're going to go through this emotional journey inside. There's probably confusion and all sorts of things. So yes, that could be specifically designed for your journey to create more freedom inside and just to allow the experience to move as it does in the present moment, right?
Yeah. I think it was a beautiful example of just life itself.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have another question that I'm a little like, I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm reaching, for something, but so I got into my first fender bender.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like in a parking lot. Like it was so not for bad driving or, highway speeding or anything like that. And me and this other lady collided, and when we both, parked next to each other, she was very upset and crying and it wasn't a big deal, like nothing. I mean, I don't know what it was for her, but as far as like, the cars weren't damaged and we were fine, and that's the most important thing, that everything was safe. And so she started saying, she spoke Spanish, and my friend was talking to her, and she was expressing that her daughter had a dream that she was going to get into a car accident and DIE. And when she realized that, we were okay, like, she calmed down, and my friend was telling her, like, everything happens for a reason, and you're okay. And I don't know, I'm shaking, like, as I'm saying this to you, because I don't.
Yeah. So the best way I can say this is the spirit of fear works in many different ways. You see this a lot in religion as well. Someone says, I got a message from God, and he told me you're all going to perish, right? And I'm telling everybody right now that the world is coming to an end. You hear it all the time, right? So the spirit of fear will work in many different ways. The child was living in a place of fear. I'm afraid of losing my mother. I have a dream about her getting unalived in a car accident. The car accident happens. Now the mother's, oh my gosh, right? This is my moment. My daughter warned me, this is my moment, right? So now she's meeting someone like yourself who's completely calm.
Yeah,
you're living in peace. You're like, this isn't. Yeah, you're holding the ground, right? You're holding truth in that moment where she's, right? No, I'm gonna. So her nervous system's going nuts through fear, and then you're holding truth in that ground. So it's an opportunity for her and for you both to grow in that moment, because even though it's the same thing that happened, there's two different perspectives that are living a completely different reality. One person is living the reality that everything's coming to an end, this is terrible, and you're living the reality that this is not such a big deal.
Yeah, of course I kept saying to myself, everything happens for a reason, for my highest good, even if I don't see it that way. And we were all safe, and a car is a car. It's, the car protected us. And I didn't understand what she was saying because I didn't speak Spanish, but I knew, I didn't feel it, like, like I didn't take her energy, but I knew, clearly, like you said, it was two different sides of the spectrum,
so, And a lot of the times people will be like, well, I was in a good mood. Why would I deserve this? You told me good things will happen to me when I'm in a good vibration. You have no idea the effect that you had on that lady's life, right? You might have made that you might have changed a lot of things inside of her, where she experienced what seemed like terror, and then you were very calm and collected, right? And not angry or whatever. So.
Yeah. And I told her, I said, you're meant to be here, clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. She's alive, right? You're alive. So the spirit of fear does a lot of things, and especially when parents are, oh no, my child had a dream that I was going to... The thing is, if someone in my family told me they had a dream that I was going to be unalived in a certain way, it would have zero effect on me. It wouldn't, like none. Zero, none. I would probably giggle and say, well, that's kind of funny dream. All right, next, right? But people will grab onto it, fear will grab onto it, and it is what it is.
Do you think she...
So an experience for her. I mean, it was basically a foreshadow for her, right? A foreshadow for the experience.
Right.
So you got to be careful about playing the blame game there, though, because then you'll say, well, I need to pay attention to how I manifest the accident. I must have been thinking the wrong way, right? Sometimes our energy is used in certain situations to free other people.
Oh, that's a beautiful way of looking at it. Somebody told me, oh, I intervened for her not having a fatal accident. And I'm like, that's stretching, I think. So yeah, that's beautiful though. Yeah, I know that me and my friend that I was with really, most people are angry and upset and frazzled, with that kind of situation. And we were just like, it's okay. We're okay. God loves us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Especially in larger cities, sometimes people get very, very upset, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm in Florida. I'm used to New York, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, no, exactly. Excellent. Thank you for talking. That certainly has an impact on a lot of people in here in a lot of different ways. So, is there anything else you want to talk about or ask or mention while you're up? Or
No. The Abundance Gang is amazing. You're amazing. Everybody in the gang is amazing. Everybody should be a super fan so you could be in the chat.
Let's go. I agree. Let's go. Here.
And of course, the one-on-ones are amazing too. Life-changing.
Thank you, Celeste. Yeah, thank you, Celeste. Everybody show Celeste some love. She's been a massive support and help to the channel. She has been the mod as well. She's been on the journey and had lots of shifts and transformation and has been showing up just about as consistent as anyone ever could. So everybody show Celeste some love, please. Let's go. I'll invite Kevin up next. Thank you, Celeste, for coming up. Kevin is no longer in the chat. We're going to go with some arrows. There's no name there. All right, they're no longer in here. We'll go ahead with Manaxi now. Hey, Manaxi.
Well, I'm not some arrows.
Yeah, no, there was someone else that was arrows.
Okay. How are you doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
I am just amazing. Just getting my ducks in the row. And but what I wanted to share was 7 months ago, as you know, I got a new job, right? And then after that, I had one-on-one with you. And after the one-on-one, people are seeing changes in me, right? I'm more confident. I trust in the universe. There's like a lot of faith. Like I maybe have a little bit of doubt, which is doubt within myself, which, we'll talk about that later. But what I've been seeing is that my boss I feel she's either feeling insecure or threatened by my success because she's asking me, are you going to quit work now that your business is taking off? And I said, no, I'm not going to quit. No matter what, I'll still be here. Maybe a couple of days or 3 days out of the week. But no, my business is just starting. So I'm kind of feeling anxiety, a lot of fear in her. And I am like, everything works out for me. Everything is wonderful. Even if I don't get tip, I'll be like, it's okay. It'll balance out. Like, I don't have doubts anymore when it comes to me being successful. And if I'm not successful in something, maybe a client didn't give tip, I don't doubt it anymore. I just feel like it's meant to be that way.
Beautiful. So on the journey, there still may be others that live in fear or worry. If you're starting to move onward or succeed in something, they might be starting to get worried. Uh-oh, I need to fill the hours. I need to find somebody else, whatever it may be. That's just a manager. That's just them trying to figure out, uh-oh, am I going to need to find somebody else? Like, it's a very normal response from their end.
And she's just reducing my hours or just starting to give me a hard time so that I will remove myself automatically. And I'm seeing a pattern. This has been my pattern in the past, but in the past I was always in anxiety or fear. But this time around, I'm not.
Yeah.
Thanks to you.
Beautiful. Yeah, because the way that they feel or what they think, you can't control that, right?
Right.
I can't control what they're going to feel or think because I'm starting to succeed and do well. Yeah, they might fear that I'm going to leave. You told her I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. So all you can really do is either she falls into that and trusts you or she doesn't, right?
Right.
You really don't have much choice there. But you can still feel your freedom yourself.
Yeah, I do, and I just feel great. I'm just ecstatic. Like, miracles are happening to me.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. To me, through me, and for me. That's my
Beautiful.
hoodie too. I love my hoodie and I wear it every single day.
Let's go. For those of you who don't know what she's talking about, this channel has merchandise and they have the prints and affirmations on them. One of them is miracles happen to me, through me, and for me. So that's the one that she has on her hoodie, and it's very, very powerful.
It is. And I see the shift. Like, yesterday, it was like I was feeling some type of way, and then I just shook myself off. And, like, some days are great and some days are not that great. It's just the energy you're feeling. Maybe I was feeling everyone's energy around me because I do touch people. I'm a massage. I do body work. I do massages on people. So energies, they can get transferred, right? And after this,
still your interpretation always.
Right.
Still what you give power to in your interpretation. For example, I could go hug 100 homeless people, and they could all be hopeless and despair and poverty and misery and illness and disease, and there's going to be no energy transfer into this being.
Right. And after, that client was done and I was feeling like kind of low, I just went outside, shook myself off, just played an amazing music that makes me move and just move the energy around, and I was fine after that. Like, I just needed movement and a happy music, happy song, and that was it.
Yeah. Music is extremely powerful to shift emotional states, right?
Absolutely.
Always be mindful of what you listen to. Right? Always be mindful of what you listen to.
I don't listen to news anymore, none of the bad social media. It's just everything, like, through your channels or people that are around, Celeste, Chicken Butt, Abracadabra. I always watch their pages and their stories, and everyone is so positive, and I love it.
Yeah. It's amazing journey, amazing community, right?
Yes.
It's wonderful.
Community, yes.
Is there anything else you wanted to chat about while you're up here? Or?
No, I'm just excited for my one-on-one on Wednesday.
Excellent. Let's go. I'm excited for you too as well. We'll continue the expansion of your business.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited. I need to get everything put together, but I just wanted to come here and share my side of this story to everyone who's listening. And if they are down or if they don't see a way, which I used to be, there's always a way. There's always an option. Always.
Yeah. So what you're pointing to is if the mind gets stuck in a place of darkness, there's no light, there's no hope. I can't see a bright future.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So what the one-on-ones do sometimes is all of a sudden the mind awakens to all this bright future, all these bright possibilities. Wow. Okay, maybe I can do these things, right? And now all of a sudden your life is transformed.
Yeah. Like before my one-on-one, I had no idea what I would be doing, what my path is. And I think I asked you also what my path is, and you didn't tell me what my path is. You're like, whatever you're passionate about. And you gave me some advice on my candle stuff, what I should do. And look at that. Like, I have had hundreds of orders. I get bulk orders. I have candles in a spiritual store now.
Yeah.
So that was like, whoa.
and it's just it's going to grow and grow and grow. Why? Because you're passionate about it, you enjoy it, and that's what you were meant to do. It was about facing that fear though, and finally walking in a place of trust and faith. Can I really actually be happy and make money? Is that possible?
Yes. And I took a leap of faith thanks to you, advising me.
Yeah.
So faith is powerful. Faith is so powerful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Strongest energy in the universe. Excellent. Beautiful. Thank you so much for coming up here. I look forward to seeing you again as well here soon.
Thank you.
Everybody show Minaxi some love. She has her own candle shop. They are organic. They are far better than what you're going to get in any store. And they also are designed to bring back certain scents and memories. If you're interested in those, make sure to talk with her there. And we're going to invite Amanda up. Oh, maybe not. I don't know if you wanted to come up or not, Amanda, but you were on the bottom there. Excellent. What time is it? We are... All right, we went a little bit over, and we are going to do the morning live tomorrow. So I am going to end up ending it here, but I'm going to answer a few more questions. I'm going to hang out for just a couple minutes. Tomorrow morning is the Motivation Momentum Wake Up, waking up in the most powerful way in the world. If you want to build a lot of spiritual empowerment, if you want to be activated and affirmed in the morning, I love Mondays, waking up in the most powerful way to build momentum for your week. And then I am going to do the nighttime live starting tomorrow as well, Monday through Friday evening, for sleep, for peace, for rest and meditation as well. If you have any questions about your spiritual or soul journey, if you have questions about your emotions or your mind, your thoughts, go ahead and ask away right now. There's going to be that link on the bottom here for a free ebook or for the one-on-ones. If you're interested in those transformative one-on-ones for your nervous system, for your memories, for your traumas, anything like that, addictions, go ahead and fill that out on the bottom. Or if you're just wanting to move into the most abundant, spiritually connected version of yourself, some people are just on that path of awakening, go ahead and fill out that link and ask about the one-on-ones. Like I mentioned, there's a free ebook for everyone interested as well. That's all about transformation of thoughts and emotions, and how does that happen? What does that look like? It's more of the baby steps. If you want that ebook that is free for you, just fill out the link in the bottom left. Thank you so much for being in here, everybody. And I'm just going to answer a couple questions now at this point, so go ahead and ask away if you have them, as I'll just continue to hang out here. There's a little link in the bottom left there if you're looking for the ebook information. I will end up DMing it to you, so just fill that out there. Thank you, Jersey, for being in here. Magical. Let's go. Magical March. Right, Magical Manifestation March. Magical Manifestation March. Let's go. Happy and grateful that you're here on this journey. How can you raise your abundance feeling, connecting and feeling aligned, and removing that which is getting in the way? Let's go. Integrating and removing that which is getting in the way, right? You recently misplaced your wallet and required new cards. Yeah, there's a price for the one-on-ones. They are charged. All of these lives are free. The videos on the channel are free. There's the free ebook, but those are paid for. Sometimes hypnotherapy is used, sometimes neurolinguistic programming. Most of the time it's just a gentle, easy conversation. And we break some things apart that are going on in the mind. Hey, sweetie pie. The little link in the bottom left. I'll DM it to you afterwards. There's a little orange link in the bottom left there. Just say free ebook and I'll DM it to you. Yeah, I enjoy listening to people who come up as well. It's a great experience when people come up. Thank you, brother. You're awesome. You're such a blessing. We got the ponies going. Let's go, David. Let's go. Doing the dance with the ponies. Doing the dance with the ponies. David's on fire. David's on fire. David's on fire, dancing with the ponies. Dancing with the ponies.
No, please, don't leave me. Father.
Thank you everybody so much for being in here this evening. I'm just hanging out answering questions and letting Daryl throw me the whole farm of ponies here. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Or David, I mean, not Daryl. David. We got a ton of ponies coming in. Thank you so much, David. You're awesome. Appreciate you so much. Excellent. Any last questions here before I end the live, everybody? Otherwise, we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we'll see you. Let's go, David. That's right. Appreciate you so much. Everybody have a blessed evening. Yeah, get some good rest. We'll see a lot of you tomorrow morning and some of you in the nighttime live tomorrow night. Otherwise, we will not have a spiritual awakening conversation, higher consciousness, until next weekend. Bye-bye, everybody. I love, appreciate, and honor all of you on your journey. Bye-bye. Good night, good night. Good night, good night. Thank you for being in here, Jan. Good night, good night.